Hello, I'm Boy George, well, obviously, and you're watching VH1 Classic.
Now, in our last host wrap, I shared with you how last year we got the invitation to sit down with Pink Floyd's David Gilmour. And that is just one of the many reasons why we're celebrating our anniversary and sharing these special moments with you from our past year. Now, during that same trip to London when we met Gilmour, we also got the chance to sit down with another one of London's musical giants, the very colorful Boy George. And I do mean colorful.
I think growing up in the sort of environment that I grew up in, and feeling kind of alien from that environment, you know, and dressing up was a way of saying, was a way of, you know, putting two fingers up at the world, you know, and saying, well, if you don't want me to belong, then I'll go out of my way not to belong. And I think that's really what it's about, really, you know.
During the 1980s, Culture Club singer Boy George certainly created a lot of fashion trends with his unique sense of style. Often George was judged quite harshly for his look, so it really came as no surprise when VH1 Classic sat down with the still colorful star at his home in London that he lives by an old adage, never judge a book by its cover.
You know, I like people for what they are. I'm not interested in how they dress. But at the same time, I do like things that kind of brighten up the horizon. If I see a girl walking down the street with sort of pink dreadlocks and a pierced tongue, that kind of makes me smile, you know. Well, I don't think she's any more superior than, you know, my mother, you know.
One of 1983's classic albums, Culture Club's Color by Numbers. While Culture Club's Kissing to Be Clever made Boy George and Culture Club stars, it was Color by Numbers that brought the group to new heights. This album features what would come to be considered the group's signature song, Karma Chameleon, a track Boy George knew from the start would be big.
I think I was the only one in the band that knew that Karma Chameleon would be #1. When I first sang it to the band, they all laughed at me. I think we were in Roy's flat, and they all picked up pots and pans and started doing sort of, you know, Year High and, you know, being cowboys. And I wish I'd kept all the publishing. Because they hated it. They paid for their houses. You know, it's just like, it was the last song to go on the album. They did everything they could to stop it being recorded.
In this VH1 Classic flashback to 1984, Culture Club's never modest Boy George rightly predicts a song that would soon become a top 15 hit for the band.
Yeah, It's a Miracle will be the next single in America, and the video is fabulous. It's really fabulous. It's real fun, and it's very clever. It's based on a huge board game, and it's all about the kind of things that we've gone through, all the achievements that we've had. And there's cuts of old videos. It's very, very cleverly done. And at the end, the Japanese girl stops. It's like a game, and it spins around, and then you see a little version of the game. She puts her hand on it and stops it. It's kind of, it's very, you know, like we've got the Japanese girl Miko. It's very cultural. It's like a cultural excursion in a way.